They pinned him to the cold pavement before he even understood why. And in that moment, 17-year-old Marcus Reed realized fear could have weight. Pressing the breath out of your chest. The night smelled like rain and exhaust as red and blue lights cut through the dark. And the first baton strike didn't just hit his body. It shattered his belief that innocence could protect him. Marcus, a tall, skinny black teenager in a grey hoodie, was walking home from his part-time grocery job, his backpack heavy with leftover flyers. When flashing lights stopped him, he tried to explain, his voice shaking, hands visible, heart racing. But the officers heard threat, where there was panic, and saw danger where there was a kid. Commands came fast and loud. Wrists were twisted behind his back. His cheeks scraped the asphalt. And someone shouted, "Stop resisting," even though he wasn't moving. Neighbors watched from their porches, phones glowing but silent. As a knee pressed into Marcus's back and the world narrowed to pain. Blood on his lip, and his mother's voice in his head telling him to stay calm, to survive. His backpack was ripped open. Groceries spilled onto the street. And the blows came harder, not to kill, but to teach a lesson about control. Marcus tried to shield his head, tried to breathe, tried to remember the street names so he could tell someone later, if later ever came. And when an officer grabbed his phone and threatened to smash it, Marcus finally begged. Not for mercy, just for one call. One chance to reach the person who always said, "If you're ever in trouble, call me." The officer agreed with a smirk, expecting nothing. And Marcus's hands shook as he dialed the number he knew by heart. The line ringing twice before his father answered. Marcus didn't cry. He didn't yell. He just said, "Dad, they're hurting me. I didn't do anything. I'm on Maple and 9th. On the other end, the voice went quiet, heavy with control because Marcus's father was David Reed, the state's attorney general, a man sworn to uphold the very law being broken in that moment. David asked calmly to speak to his supervisor, asked for badge numbers, asked why a minor was being detained without cause. And as the phone changed hands, the night changed too. The knee lifted, the cuffs loosened, radios crackled, and the officer's tone shifted from cruel to careful. Marcus lay there breathing, watching the men who treated him like nothing suddenly treat the phone like power. Supervisors arrived, words like body cam and internal review were spoken. And Marcus was helped up with hands that were gentle now, his hoodie torn, his dignity shaken but intact. Minutes later, he was released with no charges and excuses dressed up as procedure. And he walked home under a clearing sky, carrying groceries and a truth that hurt more than the bruises. That justice came because of who his father was, not because of who Marcus was. The next day, investigations followed. Consequences came quietly, and David Reed spoke publicly about accountability, while Marcus stood behind him, knowing most kids don't get that phone call. If this story stayed with you, subscribe and stay connected, because every follow helps keep these stories alive, until justice doesn't depend on luck, power, or a single call for help.